didn't fall into the trap, and your Buffalo Bills are now 2-0, defeating the New York Jets 30-10 in a game that was never all that competitive. The Bills defense, after allowed 40 points, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, allowing 40 points in Week 1 to the Baltimore Ravens, go out and do not allow a touchdown until the second teamers ended up coming in the game in that fourth quarter. Special teams was phenomenal today. Long returns and equally short returns for the New York Jets elsewhere. The Bills were able to clean up the fundamentals that they lacked in Week 1. They were wrapping up. They were not letting tackles be missed. They were not letting yards go after contact. And they didn't really need the offense to do all too much here, constantly getting short fields, constantly forcing 3-and-outs by the Jets, and just doing an excellent job all around. Make sure you are subscribed to the Bills Breakdown. We'll be breaking down Week 2's Bills versus Jets game on today's video, but make sure you are subscribed because we do Bills watch parties all season long. Live streams every single Bills game day. It's a short week, so we'll be live for that Thursday night game against Miami. Lock us in, hit that sub button for free, informative Bills content every single day. It was just pure and utter dominance, man. It's just out execution. 403 total yards to 154 yards of total offense by the New York Jets. 25 first downs to just 11 to the New York Jets. The Jets did not convert 1/3 down, and that is what we can clap our hands up for, man. The Bills, one of their Achilles heels on defense last year was the third down defense and how Swiss cheese they were on those money downs, and they did not allow the Jets to do literally anything. And the Jets were not a great passing team today, so those weren't going to be great situations for them, but the Bills did their job defensively and made Justin Fields' life hell back there. The Bills, the penalties, fine. The dominating of the time of possession, though, was awesome. The Bills really just dominated this game on the ground, and we're going to have to give shout-outs to James Cook, man, averaging 6.3 yards a carry here and 2 touchdowns. Like, he was running hard, but I think more so and more attributing to James Cook's success here was the offensive line. I mean, the push that these guys were getting on every single run play. It felt like every time the Jets defensive line was getting pushed back 2 yards minimum on every single run, whether it was James Cook, who went for a $132 and 2 touchdowns, or it was Josh Allen when he had a design run or a scamper or a scramble, and he had 6 rushes for 59 yards. He had a 40-yard skirt early on in that game that just set the tone for me. I was like, okay, this guy is just the best football player out there on the field. He evaded a shoelace tackle on that run as well. Josh Allen did not have to do much as a passer today, but the Bills got the job done on the ground and basically completely flipped the script from what happened to their defense that last week. They made that happen to the Jets defense this past week. Constantly, there was a hole open, whether it was even Ray Davis or Ty Johnson getting a couple of looks from the backfield. The Bills had just yellow brick roads worth of running room here all day long against the Jets. And, for a Jets team that prides themselves on defense, prides themselves on winning at the line of scrimmage, I think we can, look at the Bills today and be proud of what they did in the trenches. We'll talk about what they did on the defensive side of the ball in just a moment because they didn't allow a touchdown until the reserves came in. That's why I'm going to ask you before we get into talking about the defense, is the Bills' defense better than we thought? Why for yes and for no? What do you guys think? I want to hear from the Mafia right now as to maybe we owe the Bills defense a couple of apologies after Week 1. All right, going to talk about Josh Allen quickly here because he didn't really have to do much through the passing game. Ended up getting that bloody nose, bruised nose kind of thing. He says he doesn't really know what hit him. It's a weird little bit of injury. He had to step out of the game, get that thing patched up. He was leaking a little bit. And then, funny enough, Mitch Trubisky came in the game and threw a seed layering the football to Josh Palmer along the right side of the field. So Josh himself passing the football today didn't have to do much, but a lot of it came easy. A lot of nice, easy dump-offs, a lot of wide open schemes over the middle of the field by Joe Brady. So good job all around by the offense here. They didn't have to do too much because the defense was giving them a short field pretty much every single time. Dalton Kincaid did okay, but not really the receiving game from Dalton Kincaid is what I really want to stress here. Can we talk about Dalton Kincaid's progression as a blocker? I mean, my goodness! Whether it's on a run, whether it was the jet sweep to Elijah Moore that he took in for a touchdown, Dalton Kincaid was laying the wood. Pause. Like, he was cooking in the blocking department, and we saw this in Week 1, a nice downfield run that he set that he had a nice block for along the sideline, put his defender into the Ravens sideline in Week 1, and it continues to do that in Week 2 and beyond. If he could become a multidimensional tight end, then the sky's the limit for Dalton Kincaid. We could end up seeing a Pro Bowl level season. Elijah Moore was the one Bills receiver that ended up getting into the end zone today, and it was on a jet sweep, but also had a nice 31-yard grab as well. Elijah Moore was being used a lot in the Bills offense today. They were scheming him up. They were, motioning him in and out. They were using him as a runner. They were orbit motioning him into the backfield as well. There was a lot of different schemes the Bills threw at with Elijah Moore here, and it's against the team in the New York Jets that he was drafted to originally. So it was awesome to see Buffalo get him a look inside the 10-yard line, and he made the most of it, courtesy of a nice block by Dalton Kincaid, and got into the end zone. Very, very good stuff there from him. Also, Joey Bosa. I got to talk about Joey Bosa because, dare I say it, he's already better than anything Von Miller's ever done for the Buffalo Bills. Two fumbles forced today? Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Got to Justin Fields, hit him twice, to a tackle behind the line of scrimmage as well. I mean, if this guy stays healthy, this Bills defensive front actually looks like it's above average. And they didn't even have Ed Oliver today. The Bills pulled out and pitched this defensive game without their best defender on the roster, also missing their best nickel cornerback in Taron Johnson. Now you get guys stepping up. You get a Cam Lewis stepping up. You get a Christian Benford stepping up. And the Bills, a lot of the times during this game, were throwing some crazy DB blitzes. I was seeing Cole Bishop come off the edge. I was seeing Tre'Davious White come off the edge. I was seeing Christian Benford come off the edge and made a couple of nice plays behind the line of scrimmage. Benford was awesome as well. Didn't register any PBUs or interceptions, but I'm not going to sit here and act like he was allowing receptions all day because the Jets' passing offense was literally non-existent. Benford did a phenomenal job at wrapping up, and so did Tre'Davious White. 3 solo tackles for Trey White today, and after being injured and going through a groin and lower body injury, I was definitely concerned against the young, athletic, fast Jets offense. He did his job today. He showed that he's still got a lot left in the tank, man. Trey White and this Bills secondary, they played a good game today because, the assignment wasn't all that crazy, to be quite honest with you. The Jets were never going to be a crazy good passing offense. The Bills, on the other hand, their offense was awesome. They averaged 403 yards, 179 on the ground, 224 on the ground, averaging 5 yards a tote. They just dominated, man. There was never going to be any back and forth between these two teams. The Bills defense did a great job of keeping Fields in the pocket, and the offense, they did their thing when they were asked to. It kind of seemed like the Bills offense was just playing complimentary football off of whatever the Bills defense and special teams wanted to do today. So I thought it was a phenomenal performance all around. How would you guys grade it? Let me know down in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the Bills versus the Jets, winning by 20 on the road in a place where they don't cover the spread too often. They did so and some today. Let me know what you guys think. Get your grades down in the comment section. Also, get hooked up with some of these awesome Bills shirts on sale. Chatsports.com/Buffalo sale. Love that design. Love this Josh Allen whiteout design. This one's fresh. I might get it for the show. Love this retro design as well. You can get all these shirts and more sizes available by the plenty. Chatsports.com/Buffalo sale. These sales won't last forever, though, so strike while the iron is hot. That's chatsports.com/Buffalo sale. That link's in the comment section and description of today's video. Justin Fields, man. They did what they needed to do. They made him make decisions. They made him think, and that's not going to be the best recipe for success if you are a fan of the New York Jets. And they didn't allow him to scramble. They didn't allow him to make and extend plays with his legs. They kept him in the pocket. They kept him looking downfield, and he just wasn't up for the task after that all went down. So had 3 of 11 on his completions. The Bills did their job. A+ when it comes to defending the quarterback. Breece Hall did a good job there as well, my friends. You did a good job there as well. What do the Jets want to do? They want to punch you in the mouth. They want to beat you on the line of scrimmage. Well, Breece Hall, they didn't let him do that today. 2.9 yards per carry, less than 3 yards per carry. Braylon Allen wasn't doing too much. And they're going to be in a spot here where the defense is looking a lot better than we initially thought, both on the pass and against the run. Garrett Wilson, he had 4 grabs for 50 yards, but again, really didn't do anything during this game. Garrett Wilson was not that effective at the end of the day. He had a couple of catches along that first or second drive, but there was nothing else the rest of the way. The Jets' offense was absolutely atrocious today. They couldn't get anything going all night. They literally had the ball for less than 22 minutes. They turned the ball over. Nice punch out by Joey Bosa. They ended up recovering the second punch out by 97. And then they couldn't do anything on the ground. 21 carries for 100 yards. They passed the century mark, but you did everything you needed to do on the defensive side of the football today to get yourself to 2-0, and we'll see how they end up building upon this performance with a short week coming up against the Miami Dolphins. That will do it for today's edition of the Bills Breakdown by Chat Sports. Make sure you give me a follow over on Twitter at Tyler J. Smith, 2 H's because the name's common, but I am not. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're going to be bringing you guys another video later tonight, recapping more of what happened during this game, and then another video tomorrow morning as well to open up your Monday. We'll see you guys then. And as always, let's go, Buffalo.